get a vanity plate that said Italia on it.
Ugh.
I was like, we know it's fucking Italian already, bro. You don't have to like, you don't need to like double up on the vanity like of the car.
Exactly right.
It's like
it's the driver Italian because we know the car is.
You just putting a vanity plate on a vanity car. That's fucking pretty ballsy right there.
Absolutely. All right, you want to get it going?
Yes.
All right. You happy with your sound? You adjust anything?
Check. Yep, good. Yeah, man.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys. Here we are, back again for episode 103 of the Ready, Set, Blow podcast for Wednesday, September 26, 2018.
Ooh.
That's right. I'm on a roll. I'm on a 2-week roll now.
I think after the 100th episode, after that...
Oh, after that fucking
debacle.
Travesty?
Yeah, debacle. You've been getting your dates in
my
order.
Dates down? Yeah, well, that wasn't my fault, but we'll not discuss that again. We'll not scratch that one open.
Something looks different about you. I don't know what it is. You got, I don't know. It's just,
what?
You look different.
I look different. That's fucking, you make me self-conscious. Yeah, that third voice you hear, folks, is none other than Jesse Setaro, fitness expert.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the podcast.
Jesse Setaro is a personal trainer and fitness coach and entrepreneur and
business owner.
An overall swell fella.
How's it going, guys?
It's good. Yeah, put that mic up. Put it.
You guys hear me?
There you go. There you go.
There you go. It's interesting that Jesse's. I'm really excited that Jesse's here because we actually met kind of
at the gym.
Well, you know damn well that's not true. The way
I know.
It's just, yeah. It actually I was doing fucking Lyft.
Okay.
I was doing Lyft and. Jesse was like a customer, I would say, and then
chatting him up.
Chatting him up, and it was just funny. And then we got into like a whole bunch of shit, and he was on his way to handle some business, and he was kind of all riled up, and
I was on my way to see my legal team.
Uh-oh, you have a legal team? What's going on? Are you in legal trouble? Holy shit. All right. Coming in hot.
I'm gonna leave that one alone for now.
Sorry.
But over the course of the conversation, and we were just like, I kind of find out that he owns a gym.
Nice.
And got into, big health coach and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, dude, you want to come on the podcast and talk about, health and
wellness in the world with
man.
yourself.
Health and wellness.
Health and wellness. There you go. So where is your gym?
So I am opening up a studio, 717 Atlantic Avenue. It's right next to South Station.
Nice.
Right in the heart of the city.
downtown Boston. Right?
Downtown Boston, yep.
Yep.
And how'd you get started training?
So I actually went to school originally for human growth and development. I just knew I wanted to help people for a living.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to BU.
Cool, nice.
I got my undergrad from Wheelock College, which is now also BU, and then I went back to school in my mid-20s when I decided I want to become focus on the fitness industry.
Okay.
I also ended up going back to BU when it was obviously still BU, that's where I studied personal training and exercise science, and it was really nice.
Awesome.
Right. So he got it before like.
How long have you been training now total? Cool guys, that'd be coming up on 10 years, right?
No. Actually, I've been in health and wellness. I've been like an avid lifter and powerlifting competitions and things like that. I've been doing that for probably over 10 years at this point. I didn't discover the weight room until I was in like my junior year in my undergrad.
Okay.
It's been about over 10 years, but I've actually only been in the industry now for coming on my third year.
That's great. And you're getting your own little studio going. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, things have moved really fast.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what made you want to get into it? Like you said, you sort of got into exercise and lifting weights in your teenage years.
So I knew I wanted to help people for a living. Personal training was never on my radar until I was in my mid-20s after I'd been in the industry for... I went to college. I had a degree in social work, and I was doing human services and helping at-risk populations. I worked with adults with disabilities. I worked with children with developmental delays. I was doing in-home therapy. I was a preschool teacher at one point, just working with people.
Okay, so you're always working with people in some capacity.
Yeah, and then I think it was right around the time, so I was actually working for a nonprofit, working with gang-involved youth. And it was just taxing. Oh. Yeah, it was a taxing job, man. We worked in collaboration with the Boston Police Department, and we used to go into homes and whenever we get like or someone that was gang involved, they typically would have like younger siblings, and I would get caseloads of at-risk, middle schoolers and or early high schoolers, and I would work with them, go play basketball with them, pick them up after school, help them with their homework, and it was really, really cool, but it was also really taxing.
I was going to ask, how difficult is that on you mentally and emotionally to see that day in, day out for work, I
did social services for a handful of years, and I was just burnt out before I was even 25, 26. So,
wow.
So by 26, you were already like...
26, I was like, I got to figure out... I got to do something else with my life, right?
Wow.
There was no money in it. I was actually... I had a pretty rough childhood, and I think I went in there with expectations that every kid was going to be like me. I grew up in foster care. I was in orphanages, residential facilities. I mean, I had a pretty rough childhood, and I wanted help. I just didn't have any positive role models, and it was through the town that I was living in at the time. I had this youth outreach worker named Josh Brooks who really came into my life and played the same kind of role for me that I was doing for these kids, hanging out with me after school, playing basketball with me, doing all that stuff.
Kind of like a big brother,
like a big brother for troubled kids.
Yeah.
So I had a 2-page arrest record by the time I was 14.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I was really deep in. I lived in a pretty rough neighborhood. And
did you grow up here in Massachusetts, Boston?
I was born in Los Angeles, actually.
Okay.
And then I bounced around a lot due to foster care. I was living in a foster home. My grandfather at the time passed away. My foster home then, it was my biological mother's sister, my aunt. And after my grandfather passed, my aunt wanted to move back to the East Coast because that's where she was raised, and it's what made her feel close to home. So I went with her, and that's where I spent most of my childhood. We were in Connecticut, like outside of New Haven.
Okay.
East Haven, really Italian neighborhood. But yeah, so I mean, I had this guy come into my life, and I just knew I kind of wanted to work with kids or help people in a similar capacity. But there's just no money in it. I realized a lot of the kids weren't like me. A lot of the kids really glorified gang life and were proud to be from their rough neighborhood and all this stuff. Where when I was in their shoes, and everybody's different, and you can't put that against anybody. But I wasn't proud of where I was from. I wanted to get out of it. I wanted positive role models. I was an angry kid and I was a bad kid, but I was just acting out because I didn't like the shit that I had been dealt. And I realized, for whatever reason, it's for every 10 kids I worked with, there was one kid that was like, this sucks. Will you help me get out of this? Whereas the other kids really glorified gang life.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so
I'm sure we all experienced that.
Did you see that, Randy?
I think we all experienced that to a certain degree. I mean, I ended up leaving. I'm from New York City originally, from Queens, and I ended up getting out of a pretty, we were poor and didn't have much going on. And I ended up going to, getting out and going to college and then doing decently for myself. And I do think there is definitely some of that. Like friends of mine growing up, like they it was almost like the shittier your neighborhood was. I went to New York City Public High School. Yeah, the cooler you were.
Whereas I was the opposite. I was always embarrassed when I was trying to pick up girls in high school and I was meeting their parents. They're saying, where do you live? I wasn't proud of being from that shitty neighborhood.
Yeah,
I had a hard time connecting and relating. To
and that is
kids.
an interesting phenomenon that goes on. I mean, there is. I don't want to say that I'm not proud of being from New York or from where I'm from, but there is. But the idea that that's the end all be all to stay in that certain circumstance. Like, yeah, I'm proud. I'm from there, and I grew up in learning about that environment.
Yeah.
But that's not like something you aspire to be. It's to continually be poor. It's a very weird thing that kind of goes on.
Yeah, and it is. It's a cultural phenomenon. I think the gangs and things I understand from a socioeconomic standpoint. Like I understand a lot of these kids are like me. They didn't have positive role models. They didn't have a family to belong to.
Slide over here. That's fine.
Yeah, I understand. And I get why like gang life and stuff is appealing, and I get why. I get that. But for me, it just I was so opposite. I was like, I looked around, and I was like, this, and I'm looking at the adults around me. I'm like, I don't want to be anything like these people. You know what I mean? So,
at what age did you kind of like realize that? Like you were like, I'm not like I don't want the same thing like with like these people.
I mean, I was always I lived in the outskirts of New Haven in a small town called Branford, and I was lucky enough. There's a good part of town, which was most of the town, and then there was my neighborhood, which was subsidized housing and Section 8 housing, and all I had to do was get on the bus every morning and see that I was in the shitty part of town, and I would go pick these kids up, and they had some of these kids had. We'd be picking these kids up, and their mom and dad are outside, their golden retriever, in their 2-3 story home, and I just felt so other.
Yeah.
And I was never proud of that, and I can't, I was lucky enough to be exposed to maybe even just those bus rides to know that there was more than, or like the girls I dated in high school and stuff. Maybe I was just lucky enough to be exposed to the other side and be like, that's what I want. And, and I think that also fuels my entrepreneurial mind state, and my hustle now is like, I know that there's so much more than what I'm coming from. And I think that has fueled me and allows me to want to wake up at 4 a.m. and like say, okay, what can I do today to progress my business, to progress my bank account? You know what I mean? So does that make sense?
It does. Sure. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I remember as a kid, like I would be. Yeah, you as a kid is like you know the art just dreaming of like what like I remember like I would dream a lot like of that like where I would want to be like because I came from like a very fucking like Randy though we didn't have a lot of money growing up because I was in an area that people didn't have a lot of money, but I would always like I'd be on the bus and I would sit and I'd be like I would just dream of like what type of house I want. You know what I mean? And like
for me it was weird. It was I wanted to be rich, so I remember. I think everyone would love to be rich and better than being poor. But I think for me, what struck me most was how little independence.
That's so funny the way you said that because you're like. I want to be rich.
Yeah, I want to be rich. No, but not because I necessarily wanted a house. I never envisioned a family. Yeah. Like I never envisioned myself having a family of my own.
Yeah.
It was just I just
even younger,
even when I was a kid. But I remember looking at other adults like my father and and other people in the community like how little freedom they had.
Yeah.
In the sense that if they missed a day of work, we could be out on our ass. Yeah. In the sense that someone else was telling them what to do with their time. Which sort of speaks to your entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. In that I think for me it's the same thing. That's why going into comedy seems very entrepreneurial in the sense that it's just me creating a career for myself and not relying on somebody else for my livelihood. Because that's what I think frightened me was like that someone else could decide to take away all this what little shit we had at any moment. If they fired my father or if my mother got fired, whatever.
Well, the last statement is true. Like you said, last time you said, because it is a long game, for the most part. But I think also, if you wanna go. How should I say this? If you want to go kind of fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together.
Oh, sure. I mean, you always have people helping you.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the sense that you're not employed by someone as a comedian.
The self-employment.
The self-employment aspect.
Self-employment thing. Yeah.
Not that you're like I said that someone else isn't handing you money and then they can decide to stop handing you money.
Yeah.
That sort of always made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, telling you like you have to.
Taking orders from someone that can control whether or not you'd eat.
I think that's one of the things I love most about like the fitness industry and what I do as a personal trainer is I'm delivering a service. I have 20, 25 clients right now, and I've always lived with because we've all been fired from jobs here or there, whether it was a shit job in high school or whatever.
I'd say you laid off in my I took a severance.
You go through one or two of those experiences, and you're like, shit. You realize how much of your livelihood is in control of other people. And one of the things I love, and one of the most comforting things for me about my industry is if I have 25 clients, God forbid, I lose a client, I still have 24
more to work with. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the comforting things, and I make my own schedule. Like the same things we're talking about, like the freedom and the things that allow you to be entrepreneurial. Like I don't have to. If I lose, one or two clients, like I still have another 23 clients, and I can just get another 2 or 3 more clients.
Yeah, just have to go out and get some more.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things I found comforting. Piggybacking off what you're saying about not living in fear about being employed by someone else, being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. When did you decide like, hey, like I want to also be a business owner of a gym?
So this is a story, right?
Because some people like just don't want that extra work. They just want. Some people just like I'm good with what I'm doing.
So I think for me, I was working in social services and I was very frustrated with it. There was no money. I was really upset with the population after a while. I just got burnt out, and that's great. Yeah. God bless people that can go and work in those inner cities and do those things. I did it. I put my years in. I grew up in the inner city. Like, I get that. I put my hours in. I put my time in. But the only thing that really was giving me happiness was getting to the gym after work. And so I remember I'm sitting there one day and I'm sitting at the gym and I'm like, I'm struggling to pay this bill. I don't feel appreciated. Like, the only thing giving me happiness right now is, exercise and working out. And it just kind of like clicked, you know what I mean? Like, I might be able to do all 3 of these things, work out and make good money and
help people.
And it kind of clicked. And I remember I was dating a girl at the time named Jenna, and we were going through a breakup. And she, I was like, I don't really know what I want. And I'm in my mid-20s. I'm having that young quarter-life crisis. I'm like, I'm not happy. I'm not making money. I want to help people. And the only thing making me happy is exercise. And she goes, you know what I could see you doing? And this is when it all changed for me.
Porn.
No, Yes.
Yeah, that's what he was hoping she would say. That's what she told me. But she said,
The Setaro screwdriver coming at you.
Sounds like a finishing move in the
know, right?
WWE.
That's my move.
She goes, I could see you opening a gym for inner city kids and like doing that with them. And I was like, holy shit, like I'd be good at that. And I remember where I was driving and I had her on the speakerphone. And I remember I took this turn and like right as I was turning, the light came over trees and I was in the city. I was over by BU actually because I think I was whatever. And she said that and I remember it just hit me. I was like, holy shit, I'd be great at that because I've been, I can relate to the kids. I'm working. I get the system. Like I want to help people and I love exercise. And that's when I kind of decided to go back to school. Real quickly, I started building like a social media presence. So I started building social media while I was going to school. I was working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, going to school every day. It was a grind for sure. I didn't sleep much that year. But I got into the industry, right? My first day there, I remember my boss. So when I say there, my first commercial gym, I'm just going to even mention.
Yeah, we don't need to name names.
My first commercial gym experience, I'm looking at the prices, like, okay, this, I would have been cool making $50,000 doing something I was passionate about.
Yep.
When I'm looking at these prices, I'm like, holy shit, And that's not to say everywhere is expensive. Not all every commercial gym is different. But the commercial gym I was working at the time, which is actually a mid-grade commercial gym, it wasn't like an Equinox, if you will.
It wasn't
like
the fanciest spot in the
planet.
planet.
Whatever, Dave Bar. It wasn't one of those kind of things, right?
Mickey's.
Yeah, it was just a mid-grade gym, and I'm looking at it like, holy shit, like people can afford $980 a month to work with me 3 days a week. Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, in what fucking world, right? Because I can barely afford to buy groceries. Coming into the gym at this situation. And,
wow.
I got my first free workout with someone. I walked up to them, gave some advice, said, hey, we should do an hour together, and I did that. And at the end, I gave her the price presentations, and I remember I was like, so yeah, if you want to work with me, and I remember being like, I can't believe anyone, like, I almost felt like a jerk for asking for this much money. And it wasn't because I wasn't sure of my abilities. I went to BU, I had my certs, like I felt confident, I was passionate. That wasn't the issue. It was just coming from the way I grew up to now being in this downtown commercial gym and asking for this. And when the girl's like, cool, I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that one. I was like, wow, really? Like, you're going to pay me $400 a month to work on me once a week? Like, I couldn't understand it. But at the same time, I was like,
I gotta see you for at least 2.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and then I make that sale, and I'm like, cool, it stroked my ego, right?
Yeah.
I did the next one, made that sale too. I did the next one, made that sale, and I'm saying to myself, and now you do 5-6 sales in a row, and all the trainers are looking at you, and I'm like, I might be kind of good at this, and I think, and we can talk more about this, but I think that really
just talking to Mike, Jesse.
I think that really built my confidence.
Yeah.
And when I started making the sales, I realized I wasn't out of my coworkers. Like, I wasn't the most experienced trainer. I didn't have the most certs or the most education, but I was the best with people.
There you go.
And once I had that confidence built and I started training clients and they started getting results, I started to have the people skills, and you started to have the confidence, which came along with the sales skills. And then I was just passionate about what I did. And I'm sitting there, and at a certain point, so I'm still working, in social services, but at a certain point, I'm working, 4 to 6 hours a day at my part-time job at a gym, and then I'm working 8 to 10 hours at my full-time job. And when my 4-hour job is paying me more than my 10-hour job, I was like, okay, I might be pretty good at this. And that's when in the back of your head, you start to get excited, like, how far can I push this?
Yep.
And I think it didn't take me more than 6 months to become the top trainer at my gym. And that was with, 8 other trainers there. And then by that point, I was like, okay, let's see how far I could push this. And here's the other thing too, right? Like, and we'll get into this as well. Like, but here's the thing now. I'm a foster kid. Like, I've never felt wanted or good at anything in my entire life. I never felt needed until I discovered fitness. So now I can't wait to go to sleep so I can wake up and get back to the gym and try to make another sale, try to help another person, try to build another relationship, and so now I'm finding something where I'm told not only am I'm wanted, but I'm good at it, and now I'm making money. That's when I started saying, okay, there might be something here. And within 6 months, after I became the top trainer at my club, we had 30-something gyms in the city. I said I want to be the top trainer in the city. So within 6 months of me becoming the top trainer in my club, 6 months after that, I was the top trainer in the city. So now I'm a year into my career, and out of a 30-something commercial gym facility in the Boston area, I'm the top trainer there, and now I'm looking at a national level.
Yep.
Because we get statistics and all this stuff, and now I know. Now I'm following all these people that are above me on the list every month that comes out. I know who the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 trainer of the company is, and now I'm grinding trying to outwork those people. And within a year and a half, I was the top trainer in a gym of 164 gyms. So
nice.
The average personal trainer does 60 to 80 sessions a month.
Yeah.
Was doing 245.
Did you get a plaque?
That was the fucked up thing about it, right? So
Got nothing.
Nothing. Not even.
Oh, that's why you're like, well, fuck this. I'm starting my own gym.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was actually working out at another gym, and one of the managers comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you're Jesse Setaro, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Congratulations on being the top trainer of the company for 3 months." I said, "What?" I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I had no fucking idea." She's like, "Yeah, come take a look." And she pulls up the spreadsheet. Keep in mind, I'm working at a commercial gym with a fitness manager, with a general manager, with a ton of this management above me, getting those emails and not a single attaboy. Now, I knew I was killing it at my gym, right? I knew I was killing it at my gym. I knew I was killing it in the city, but I didn't know I was the top trainer in the entire company for months.
That's crazy.
And that's when, so you say, when did it start to come onto your radar, that you might want to have this entrepreneurial fitness mindset? When I started making a shit ton of money, it was the best at it. When there was no competition around me at my gym, I said, how far can I push this thing? And so
here you are.
With my first location, downtown area, not too far from, my former commercial gym. And it's nice.
How long has it been open?
So
fairly new?
It's a thing, right? So it's a thing, right? So technically, I'm opening up in January. Okay, but
nice.
I've started building the facility this year, and I have friends and family, and I have friends and family and people from Instagram and people that I'm training there already. But I'm not doing a hard opening, like a grand opening, until January.
Okay, cool.
But I already have 25 clients.
Nice.
I already have a wait list of clients that want to work with me and that I'm training at their gyms or here and there. So and at my space now, I have to be careful with, I can't hurt anybody yet.
Yeah.
I'm not struggling.
That's awesome.
My money's good for now.
It's always interesting to me, like the people, like it's always interesting to me that usually the people who like working with people and want to motivate people and inspire people come from some sort of like pain, struggle. Usually, like it's some type of like history of not having certain things at the disposal. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a pretty cool thing, man. And obviously health is very important. You know what I mean? And it's like it's always like I remember like my mom when she first came here like to this country. Like she was thinner back then because she was just younger. And I remember like I would be a kid and I would watch her put on Jane Fonda Jane Fonda videos and Richard Simmons and
get that body.
Yeah, man. It's just like, but it always seems to be when it comes to like health and fitness is always like the next thing. Back in the days, I remember like I used to work at like GNC when I was in college. Like I was like a manager, and there would be like the Atkins diet was like that big thing.
Yeah,
they always
Crash
just.
diets.
What are the gimmicks that really fucking that annoy you?
Oh my god!
Like what are the ones that are like this is still around?
CrossFit. I hate CrossFit.
Oh, you hate CrossFit?
And I'll shoot all the shots at the entire industry, and people can get after me for it after this. But
sure,
CrossFit's a fucking joke. Now I shouldn't say that, and that's gonna upset a lot of people, but CrossFit it's not a hard cert, and I say that as someone that has $50,000-$60,000 of debt, that has degrees and certs, 4 primary certs, 3 secondary certs. I'm well educated. I can't sell myself and be confident and get the results for my clients if I'm not well versed in exercise. Now, don't get me wrong. There are tons of people in the CrossFit industry that run CrossFit gyms and are coaches in CrossFit gyms that are great and they know their shit and they're amazing and they've never hurt anybody.
Okay.
But for every for every former client or client I have, for every fucking person, not even a client, whether it's a girl I've dated or a friend I've had or a client I'm training, you show me 10 people that have done CrossFit, I'll show you 9 people that have gotten seriously hurt.
That's what I've heard about it. That their lack of commitment to form and to safety and doing it slowly is bad.
The issue with CrossFit is everyone's there's gonna be people that hop on after and talk all this shit and say that's not true. This is the way it really is. There's CrossFit. there's good things about CrossFit, there's bad things about CrossFit. I'll say the bad thing about CrossFit is there's a lot of compound movements, there's a lot of Olympic lifting, there's a lot of really complicated lifts, and you're getting 15, 20, 25 people at once in a room. Now, some of them with limited to no exercise history doing complicated, difficult, dangerous exercises with maybe 3 or 4 coaches in the room, roaming, correcting form. But here's the kicker, right? So now you have, and there's all there. I want to say I know that there's good coaches, and I know there's great CrossFit coaches, and I know that they offer one-on-one training outside of the group fitness classes, and I get that, and that's wonderful. But you can't take 20 people, a lot of whom have no former exercise history or exercise experience or exercise education, say, go into a room with 20 people, there's your clock, this is your workout of the day, first person to win, first person finish wins, right? And it's competitive, and I love that about CrossFit, but it's dangerous because there's too much going on, there's too many moving parts. You're now racing. It's like CrossFit is the drag racing of fitness, and I say that in the sense that you go fast.
Yep.
It's very addictive. It has its own culture. It's
Randy's familiar with drag. He's been on drag racing.
CrossFit is the drag racing of fitness. If I have and listen, it has its place too, right? If I have a client that says, hey, my wedding's in 3 months, I want to lose 30 pounds, I say, you know what? Cut carbs and go do CrossFit and cross your fingers, you don't hurt yourself. But that's not what I do as a personal trainer. I've never had a single issue. I've been doing this for years at an elite level, hundreds and hundreds of sessions a month. Thousands of hours of training, right? Thousands and thousands of hours of training, all the education. I've never had a single injury in my entire career. A single injury. I know CrossFit trainers that have they have an injury every week, every month.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I've never had one in my entire career working at an elite level of session count. So I have a big beef with it. 2 people love CrossFitters. It's personal trainers that get to fix broken CrossFitters and chiropractors. Okay. Only 2 people I know that love CrossFit that aren't in the CrossFit industry.
And what about on the diet side? What do you think of the gimmicks there? Like the paleo shit? Does that have legs, or is that just
paleo? It has
keto. I hear keto.
Keto.
What I'll say is, nutrition wise, we eat in a style and a manner that is just not. It's not natural.
Yeah.
Right, we're animals at the end of the day. We're designed to hunt and gather. So now we're not designed to sit down and have 4 meals a day, the size of our head at a table, and then go back to sitting at a chair and work on a computer, and then go home and sit on the couch. Meanwhile, we're shoveling all this caloric excess into our face, and then we're sleeping for another 6 to 8 hours. Like, our bodies aren't designed to do that. Our bodies are designed to walk 20 miles a day and kill saber-tooths with our bare hands, right? So yeah, the paleo.
Not in my neighborhood.
But no, I mean, the way we eat is not right. We need to eat. It's not complicated. We just people, it is a big part of it. And I'm happy you brought up the nutrition component. The best exercise for anyone trying to lose weight is just a caloric deficit, man. That's all it is.
Less calories in.
Yep.
Less calories in, more calories out. And so,
right.
I'm not a certified nutritionist. I have a nutritionist that works for me. I can't say, I can't prescribe food to people, but what I can say is, if I were you, I would be eating lean protein, dark leafy greens, and complex carbs, and if I were you, these are some of my favorite things that I like to eat. I can't tell you to eat broccoli, right, Chase? Because if you're allergic to broccoli and you go eat broccoli, you consume it, right? You die, right? But what I could say is, if I were you,
I definitely do that, by the way.
A shit ton of broccoli and chicken, right? So
right.
Yeah, but I think the
are those like the key foods you're talking about here?
Dark leafy greens. You can't eat enough kale to make yourself fat. You can't eat enough spinach to make yourself fat. You can't eat enough, spale, spinach. Some more of the other ones. Now I'm on the spot, so now I'm not thinking.
Right.
You can't eat enough dark leafy greens. You can't eat enough lean protein. So chicken, turkey, tuna, any type of fish, salmon's king. Complex carbs. You can't.
Obviously it's not pasta, right?
Carbs. The cost. What is it?
It's not pasta, right?
No.
What the fuck is that? Like complex and compared to simple?
A complex
not everyone out there is.
Chase.
I'm gonna say not everyone chases no complex. I don't know. Neither do I. But
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know.
A complex carb is something that burns cleanly and efficiently in your body. So white flour is not anything with white flour, like you eat a tortilla, like a burrito, right? Like that's a bad carb.
Fuck.
There's good carbs, right? Pizza crust, like whatever.
That's bad. Anything breaded, basically.
Any bread, white bread, it's all terrible for you. But a complex carb is like quinoa, it's brown rice, it's half of a sweet potato. Like there are good carbs and there are bad carbs.
Okay.
Just like there's good protein and bad protein. Like pork compared to salmon is not as clean. It doesn't have the same amount of calories and the same amount of protein. It's you want to eat low calorie, high protein foods, and you want to eat dark leafy greens. So the kale, the spinach, all that stuff, and arugula, like whatever, all that stuff, and then and complex carbs, man.
It seems like
fruits and veggies, obviously.
Yeah. It seems like
you can't eat enough fruits and veggies to get fat.
Yeah. It seems like that shit
That's
has
another thing too. People are like, I remember who was telling me like, so much sugar in those strawberries, and I'm like, they're fucking strawberries.
Yeah,
It's
your
like,
body's designed.
I don't plan on eating.
That's where I get mad at, Randy. That's the type of shit where I get
banana.
like.
It's like it's a banana.
Like the way you
told
say
me
No one
that?
ever got fat on apples.
Someone told me, I think a girl that
These are the same people that drink fucking energy drinks and
Yeah,
put
exactly.
Splenda in their coffee every morning. You know what I mean? So
I think some girl one day she's like, yeah, don't have a banana. Like the bananas. I'm like what? When the fuck was a banana bad for you? Like
bananas,
you know what I mean?
Bananas can make you constipated. That's the only thing. One banana a day is good for you, but
I just feel like if it has one ingredient, it's like bananas.
potassium is great for you in bananas. It's great for muscle recovery. So I usually tell all my clients if I were them, I would eat a banana a day, especially after working out.
Afterward, okay.
Let me give you this particular scenario.
Yeah.
If I was to wake up in the morning,
here we go.
If I wake up in the morning, right? Because I'm on this like I've had some like health issues.
When
Like,
you wake up in the morning. When you
no, I'm serious. Yeah,
no.
yeah,
When
no.
you wake up in the morning, yes.
Trust me, I know. So like I've always had some weird like health like type of history with me, like whatever. So now I'm really like not playing around. Like I need to like fucking shape up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm shipped out for good. But so I would say, hey, like okay, for a guy like me, I am 5'8" on my license, and
Not much taller.
235 pounds, 237 pounds, which is a lot for a guy of my
It is.
weight, right? So I'm like, based on my like history of how, like what I do for like work and stuff like that, and like type of lifestyle, because comedians, we're fucking animals. We're up all night, we're drinking,
I got you.
we're going after it hard, So if I wake up in the morning, or if I have a morning, would I be like, hey, like what's a typical like good like fucking breakfast, like egg whites with some fucking broccoli, or should I just have a protein shake, like you know? Because this is my go-to protein shake. I don't know if this is good, but it fucking tastes
for
really
somebody
good.
on the move. How do you deal with that?
I have almond milk, one cup of almond milk, whey protein, 25 to 30 grams of whey protein, chocolate, a banana, and a teaspoon of peanut butter. I don't know if that's good, but what do you think that is?
So it's good and bad, right? So
Fuck.
I like how this turns into Chase's free session.
I gotta get one thing.
I'm passionate about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I love to talk about it, right?
Randy's like, I asked Randy for tips because he looks pretty good, and he's like, and Randy's like, just go to the gym, Chase.
So, Chase,
That's his fucking advice for me.
What I'll say to you is don't be as concerned about the weight, the height and the weight, right? So I'm 5'9", I'm an inch taller than you. I'm only 20 pounds lighter than you. I'm 217. I just carry it differently, right? Because muscle weighs more than fat. So I'm not, and I mean, I don't have six-pack abs either. I'm Italian, man. I love my pasta, I love my pizza, but I also love lifting weights and exercising and having that discipline of getting up. So what I would say right out of the gate right now, so we're talking about trending beliefs, we're talking about things that are trending. Right now, the one thing that I'm advocating for, because I've done it myself, I've had clients do it, I have friends and family, people in the fitness industry that have done it, and it's working really well, and there's good medical backing for it, is intermittent fasting. So you're saying I wake up and I start eating this, I eat that, I eat this, I eat that. What I would say is wake up and don't eat anything, okay? Don't eat anything until, doesn't matter what time you wake up. I would say try to eat so don't eat until 12. Don't eat until around lunchtime, right?
People pay for this advice, Randy?
Yeah, man.
I'm serious.
Don't
man.
eat?
Don't eat, man.
That's pretty simple.
This I've heard about the intermittent fasting thing.
Fasting. So what happens is our body, so once again, our body's not designed to sit down and be stagnant and shovel food into it. Our body's designed to be moving. We're designed to be hunting. We're designed to be gathering. It's not normal the way we eat as an animal to sit. Find me another animal that sits down and eats 3 to 4 times a day.
Even intervals, yeah.
Yeah, that says, oh, it's time to eat. Even when you're not hungry, like that's what we do as a civilization.
Got it.
Oh, it's lunchtime. I got to go get my Subway sandwich or whatever. It's just not. It's not right. We're designed to be hunting and gathering. Well, all the research right now, something that's really popular, and I'm saying because I've done it and seen results. I've had lots of clients do it and lots of clients get good results off of it. Is intermittent fasting, eating only 8 hours a day, not waking up and eating. It's taking everything we're doing now and flipping it on its head. So instead of waking up and eating for 16 hours and then going to sleep, wake up and fast and then eat only between like 12 and 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. And what happens is those other 16 hours when you're not eating, your body's in what's called a fasted state. And instead of eating the food that's in your stomach, so this is a really simple explanation of it, but instead of eating the food that's in your stomach, it's eating the fat that's stored on your body. And so we know this works because there's a lot of good medical research, and you can look it up. Like the viewers can Google it, intermittent fasting. I've seen it get good results. There's lots of good medical backing for it. I've done it. My clients have done it, and it's working really well. So I would challenge you, instead of waking up and eating this and eating that and eating this and eating that, and say, did I just eat something good? I would say don't eat until 12. And on top of it, if you can work out in the morning while you're in that fasted state.
That was going to be my next question. Morning working out versus afternoon working out?
It's called fasted cardio.
Okay.
Yeah, if you exercise while you don't have food in your stomach, it'll speed that whole process up of, and that's the thing about the fitness industry. There's going to be followers that are like, oh, fuck intermittent fasting. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But what I would say is I've seen results in it, and I can only speak from my own personal experience, and there's good medical research backing it up. So instead of waking up and eating, I would say wake up, exercise, burn even more fat, and then eat healthy. So skip the peanut butter. The peanut butter, everyone's like, oh, it's protein. There's a lot of things that are protein that aren't great for you.
Okay.
Peanut butter is one of them. And then there's always going to be people saying, oh, these are the benefits of protein. There's always, what I would say, skip breakfast, eat between 12 and 8, try to stay away from like peanut butter and things like that. And then protein, I think it's great you're eating protein, but I would use protein more as a recovery versus like a meal replacement. Taking protein between like 25 to 30 minutes after your workout, we have this thing, it's called a metabolic window. It'll help your body recover after you've torn muscle. That's when I would apply, protein, whey protein into my diet, but I wouldn't just wake up and drink a protein shake. That's just me.
Okay.
You're asking what I would do.
All right. Okay.
So there's, sticking with the, sort of moving over to the working out side. Yeah. So obviously Chase is talking about, Chase has a day job and a night job with comedy and, in his, I guess, his night job.
Hospitality business.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, your day job is at night, so I always get a confused.
Yeah, it's all fucked up. I'm all fucked up.
But if you're on limited time, let's say you only got a half an hour to an hour a day, what kind of workout do you recommend?
Compound lifting. Squatting, bench pressing, deadlifting, things that demand a large caloric expenditure and activate large muscle groups at once. This whole like the Jane Fonda of doing your hip thrust, like it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. Squatting, there's movement patterns: squatting, hinging, pressing, pulling. These are the things that you should be doing because one, they're going to tear and activate the most amount of muscles, but they also demand the largest caloric expenditure. So you're not only building muscle in this process, but you're burning calories through these difficult lifts.
And then it should be resistance training in there, right? In addition to cardio,
resistance training should be the staple of it. So people trying to gain muscle should be doing the same sort of exercises as people trying to lose weight, and it's compound lifting. It's just
So that's one of those misnomers out there. I think people, especially women, like, I don't want to lift, I'll get bulky. It's like, I don't think you can, lady.
You can't. Now, within reason, right? Every woman's built differently. Every woman has different testosterone levels, but realistically, women have larger amounts of estrogen than they have testosterone. That's one of the things that separates us as men and women, right? Testosterone is a hormone that allows men to be bigger, stronger, more muscular. It makes us fucking horny. It makes us hungry. It's what makes us men, right? So this belief that a woman is going to lift weights and look like a man, when really the thing that allows a man to be a man is testosterone. Women don't have to worry. Now, there's always going to be women with a little bit more testosterone than others, but it's a big
couple of bad examples.
It's a big misconception. And everyone's different.
A couple chicks with dicks popped up.
One of them I wasn't sure.
One of them I weren't quite sure. That's how I didn't want to know what that looked like, but okay.
There was one. Proceed, Jesse. Proceed. It's all about you. This ain't about me.
So how many days a week are you working out? Like 3, 4? Is that the right amount for somebody?
So For someone trying to lose weight, the average person, my average client is on a 3 to 4 day program.
Okay.
Usually they're doing 2 days, at least half of that with me. 3 to 4 days is enough, man. 3 to 4 days is enough. If you have a hinge day, you have a squat day, you have a press day, you have a pull day, you're training in motor patterns and you're training correctly with the right exercises, with the right form, using the right weight, the right volume, the right load. Like, these are the things this is why I have a career. Is like, if my car's broken, I go to a mechanic, and my mechanic fixes it because that's what his education experience is. Now, if your body's broken, who do you take it to? Personal trainer, physical therapist, doctor, right? So these are people who literally have degrees and educations and certifications and qualifications to work with your body. And so I would challenge anybody, right? Like someone like you, Chase, do 3, 4, 5 months of personal training, even if it's not even to see, the results that you're going to get. From day one from month 0 to month 5, you're not going to have your dream body 5 months from now, but you're going to have 5 months to learn, to ask questions, to go over form, give yourself 5, 6, do 6 months. Anybody I'd say one of my greatest regrets in this industry wasn't going to school and getting an awesome education. It was just not working with a personal trainer before I decided to go to school for personal training. I probably could have learned just as much about exercise in 6 months of working with a trainer as I did, in 6 weeks of reading textbooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So kind of like a paid intern program.
Except you're going to get results.
We're going to get results.
You're going to burn calories. You're going to build muscle. So not only are you setting yourself up for progress, but you're also setting yourself up for an education that you're going to have for the rest of your life. See, now here's where you start to see the sales skills as a personal trainer. But you're not just getting you do 6 months of training. You're not just getting those 6 months of training. You're going to get results. You're going to build some healthy habits. You're going to get an education. I think everybody should do. I think, and the fun thing about it too is my clients. If I have a client, if I sell a client, if I sold a client 3 years ago, that client's probably been in personal training for 3 years, because once they see the results and they build that relationship and they see that it's the value of it, it's just something they budget, man. You had Clinton Sparks over here. I know Clinton Sparks' trainer. He's a good guy. I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter whether you're a millionaire like Clinton Sparks or you're the average guy like you and me. Mm-hmm. It's fucking valuable. It's your body is the health is the foundation of all wealth. You could be a millionaire and get cancer tomorrow, and then what's it worth to you to have all that money? Your body is the most important thing. It's the most important home you'll ever live in.
Health is
wealth. It's the only home
right?
you have to live in.
Yeah. Health is wealth, they say, right? It comes to it, man. Damn, it's good. It's important,
How important is sleep? Because I feel like because the reason I ask is because I was 40 or 50 pounds heavier back in 2010 when I moved here. Yeah, and I was working as an investment banker in New York, and I was working 110 hours a week. Yeah, and I was sleeping maybe 3 or 4 hours a night. And I feel like once I got over to Boston, I was able to get control of my schedule a little bit.
Yeah. How much did you weigh, Randy, at the highest point?
At my peak?
Yeah. I never
probably as much as you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All mid twos. Yeah.
So to like 235 pounds. I got down to about 190. So it's 45 pounds.
Did your body did you feel your body like?
Yeah, I felt like shit.
You felt like shit.
I felt like shit. I looked like shit. Out of breath, but I do think a big part of me being able to. Because I started working out once I got my time back, but I was able to sleep 6 to 8 hours a night, and I feel like missing that was like sort of accelerated my physical improvement way faster than otherwise.
I mean, that's what the doctors recommend is 6 to 8 hours. Now, once again, everybody's different. I don't have the luxury of being able to sleep 6 to 8 hours every night. I train.
You're starting your own business. Not that I at the time.
I'm grinding, man. Yeah. I mean, so to paint a picture, I train 16 hours a day, meaning my peak hours are people's off-peak hours. So when, if you work at 9 to 5, that means you either have to work out somewhere between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. So that means I'm working from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. on any given day, right? If I have to be there for that 5 a.m. rush to that 5 p.m. rush going on to 9 p.m., my average day, starts between around 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, so you're up at 4:30, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some days I'm lucky enough to be able to sleep into 6 a.m., but to me that's like a late morning. But I don't have that luxury. But for the average person who works a 9 to 5, you should be if you work a 9 to 5 job, and I know most people don't, say you work a 10-hour workday, that means you have 14 hours the rest of your day to use. I haven't had that luxury in many years, but if you have that much free time, you need to be prioritizing exercise. You need to be prioritizing sleep. Those are the 2 things you already have going for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sleep 6 to 8 hours is highly recommended. I don't have that luxury. A lot of people don't have that luxury. I usually sleep like 4 to 6 hours a night. And I'll tell you, the nights I do sleep, you know, on the weekends or when I'm on vacation, the nights I do sleep 8 hours, I feel like a different person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 8 hours is...
For guys like us too, like it's health is gonna be very important.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're in our mid-30s now, we're creeping up there. So it's if you don't get a control of it now, it's not going to get any easier in your 40s and 50s.
That's true, yeah, and also the industry that we're in too.
Healthy habits,
you know?
But I also feel like for my own personal mental health, I feel like working out makes me feel mentally better. More clarity,
memory,
less
clarity.
angry, less tense, less anxious, all of that shit.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, there's long term. All you have to do is research some sleep research, and you find out the more sleep you get, the better.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that like last week. I'm like, man, I'm not like the same.
I mean, you should be sleeping 12, 14 hours.
Exactly. What are you, like a fucking cat sleeping 14 hours a day?
Depression.
I mean, I've done it, but I wouldn't recommend it on a regular basis.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I was thinking about this like last week. I'm like, man, like I'm definitely not like I could feel myself. I'm not like the same person like I was like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I could like a lot of it. There's a lot of like other shit too. I have an overnight job that's like sucks, and I and so that adds on to like my fucking whatever. So the health has to be just as important. If I'm not like if I'm already fucking like so. I don't know. What do you think about surgery? How should I fucking just do surgery?
Like the lap band surgery?
Gastro
bypass. How do you feel about like the supplement industry? Are there any useful ones out there, or are they all just bullshit?
No, I mean, there's just like everything else. There's good and bad, man. Good and bad, right? So, protein. We talked about protein. You can't. I mean, protein has to be. The 3 things, it depends on what your goals are, right? If you're trying my average client is either trying to lose weight or gain muscle.
Yep.
Most of them are trying to do both, honestly, right?
Yep.
Can it be done? It has to be simultaneously, or at the same? Is that the same?
I think it's easier if it's done simultaneously. No.
It's a loaded question. Yeah, I mean, it depends on. Every case is different, person to person. Yes, you can burn fat and build muscle at the same time. Actually, I mean, working with me, you're going to burn fat and lose muscle. I mean, you're going to burn fat and gain muscle. Just by the exercises that we're doing. So it can be done at the same time. However, when you're trying to lose weight, so when you're trying to gain muscle, calories are good, right? We have to eat to grow. But when you're trying to lose fat, calories are bad. So it is kind of.
It's a little bit of a balancing act, huh?
It's a balancing act, but hire a trainer, hire a nutritionist, let them coach you through that process. It can be done at the same time, which is very hard to do, and it has to be done with the proper nutrition, with the proper exercises. It's a loaded question. It's a loaded answer for a loaded question.
Okay, that's what we do. We load it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking about supplements like all this creatine and all this other shit.
So creatine, for example.
Like,
let's go through. Yeah, you can throw shit out. I mean, creatine is great for someone trying to build muscle and someone trying to get stronger. Creatine. All long-term study and research shows that taking creatine, it will help the muscle grow. It'll make you stronger. You'll have a greater ATP threshold. It's good for you. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you bigger. Creatine will do that.
That's what I'm going to say next to a girl next time. Girl, I'm going to give you this ATP threshold.
Creatine will make you bigger and it will make you stronger. It's completely legal. It's completely safe.
Yeah.
It can be taken in either a pill or a powder. Creatine, I'm a big advocate for it. Just you have to cycle it. You don't want to. It can also make you bloated and make you gain a lot of water weight. So do it 60 days at a time, and then come off of it. Do it, 60, 90 days at a time, come off it. Cycle it. Take it for a little while, then don't take it for a little while. You just don't want to be walking around bloated and but it will make you bigger and stronger for sure.
Nice.
Okay.
And you definitely recommend protein supplements if that's easy.
Creatine.
Whey, isolate whey protein.
That's protein, yeah.
Yeah, that's protein. I would say thermogenics, there's research showing.
Which ones are like the caffeine and shit like that?
Yeah, there's, there are certain things that are going to, when your heart rate's accelerated, right? Whether it's through exercise, through caffeine, through cocaine, whatever it is, right? Anything that accelerates your heart rate, when your heart rate's doing this, you're burning calories. Now, there's things you could take called thermogenics. Pre-workouts, also another thing we could talk about. But when you accelerate your heart rate, whether it's through exercise or through thermogenics or through pre-workout or whatever it is, you're going to burn calories. So I'm a big proponent of thermogenics, within reason. Now, it can be dangerous. It's something that gives you energy. It could either be a scoop, or it could also be a pill, but it's something you take before your workouts. It's similar to a pre-workout.
Yeah.
It's going to give you energy, it's caffeinate you, it's going to make you feel perked up, it's going to make you feel stronger, it's going to make you want to move. I'm a proponent of that. Anything that makes you want to... Listen, I have clients that are, CEOs, and they're tired by the end of the day, man. They're up at 4 a.m. not to work out like I am, but they're up at 4 a.m. to start their day.
Yeah.
And, people get tired. And I say, listen, if you need pre-workout, it's 5 p.m., you've been up for 12 hours working, 14 hours working.
Right.
I'm a big proponent of... For me, it's become such a part of my routine and my... Like, if I don't take my protein, I have a hard time mentally getting into my workout because it's become such a part of my ritual.
Yeah, it's your body sort of expecting it.
Pre-workout, thermogenics, I'm a proponent of those things as well.
I remember when I used to work at GNC, that was a huge product that people used to buy. There was one product
burns
that...
calories, too, yeah.
This product called Zenadrin. Was,
Oh, dude, that stuff had...
do you remember that, Randy?
Yeah, it had... what did it have in it? That they banned
People
it.
are dying. People are having cardiac
Endo
arrest.
or something. Yeah, they banned it, whatever
Yeah.
it
Do
was.
you remember Jack 3D? All
That,
those pre-workouts?
Rip Fuel, remember that one?
Oh, my God, yeah. So that's the other thing, too. So that's...
That was my era. Rip Fuel and shit.
I'm gonna everything I'm saying right now. I want to say what I would do. I'm not telling anybody to now go out and start slugging pre-workout or
No, and they should also consult a
thermogenics.
professional. I mean, it's like anything else.
Well, I do. I take pre-workout and I take thermogenics when I'm trying to lose weight. And it helps. It burns calories. But
Right.
I mean, I would never tell anybody to go out and do that. But for myself, I feel the difference, and that's what I would do.
And it comes down to this fucking basic thing too, right? It's like know what you're putting in your body, right?
Yeah.
Know what you're putting in your body. Don't be a fucking an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what's popular in Hollywood these days? I think we talked about it before,
Porn?
Obviously porn. Okay. But because I was just thinking about because I was watching The Expendables 2 the other night, fucking the anti-aging clinics that have all these HGH clinics and what's it called? Insulin growth factor clinics. Is this stuff have any real basis, or is it you starting to play with fire there?
You start playing. I mean, you're talking about unlocking your genetics,
Yeah,
and that's when you start talking about steroids and anabolic agents, and
that's a whole different world, right?
It's a whole different world. I don't want to talk about that today, but yeah, obviously, we were talking about it before, testosterone and estrogen. If we know testosterone makes us bigger and stronger as men than women, right? What happens when you take a normal man with high testosterone levels already, and then you give him more, you up the testosterone levels, and what happens is you just start looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right. You know what I mean? Those guys will tell you they did it too. All the wrestlers. I don't care what anyone says. Like The Rock, all those guys.
All those guys must. Yeah.
They have to juice. They just have to. It's just not unless the cap shoulders, the monster. It's just unless you work in a sheet metal factory, there's no and you're picking a piece of metal up and putting it on a top shelf for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. There's no reason for people to be fucking blown out this broad. Even look at lumberjacks and construction workers. They don't look as big as some of these Hollywood stars. That doesn't. It's a whole nother conversation.
That was the thing, because it seems like with all these action movies out now, all these guys are just getting fucking ripped. Yeah. And I was and they go to these anti-aging clinics, and I was like, that just seems like it's a steroid doctor.
Yeah, it's a steroid doctor. That's all it is. It's a legal steroid doctor. You can go, especially when you're in Hollywood, you're in that world. There's nothing money can't get you.
Yeah.
It includes, HGH, it includes testosterone, it includes Trembolone, Sustanon, all that stuff.
Good drugs too.
but it's
good illegal drugs.
not the good stuff. Not
not the stuff from China. The real deal.
Yeah, there's not much money can get you, including bigger and stronger, or leaner and sexier, or a bigger butt, or but we that's not what I. That's not what I'm about.
That's not what you're about.
I'm about the average person.
Just doing it the old-fashioned way. A little hard work, a little grit.
Yeah. It's better for you too. It's safer.
You're
more sustainable.
What do you see yourself? What's the what's the end goal?
What's the next step?
What's the end goal?
What's the end?
So I want to open up. I want to franchise my fitness studio. I want to have more than one location. I want. There's a lot of people I have everything from 22-year-old entry-level recent college grads to 70-year-old retirees.
22-year-old, you said?
What is it? I have everything from 22-year-old college grads.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, on my roster of clients. I train everybody
girls?
from one or two girls. I have everything from 22-year-old college graduates to 70-year-old retirees. And the one thing that's cool about my industry is that everybody has a body, right? So everybody is a potential client. We are one of the most unhealthy people. We are one of the most unhealthy countries with the most income and the most access to means.
And we spend a lot on our own fitness too.
Yeah, it's $1 trillion industry, man. Fitness is $1 trillion industry, from the gyms to the supplements, to the personal trainers. It's $1 trillion industry, right?
Yeah.
For me, there's just endless money to be made, and there's endless good to be done. That's the big thing, right? There's so many people that have the resources, they just don't have the time or the education or the knowledge or the motivation or the accountability or the programming. Like, there's so much that goes when you tie yourself to a personal trainer. You have someone walking your fitness journey with you that knows more about health and wellness than you do. That's all it is. That's the key, man. Is it's having someone that you're tied to that's gonna build you a program and get your ass into the gym when you're tired. That's gonna keep you motivated. It's gonna keep you accountable. It's gonna keep you programmed. Gonna keep you educated. Like, so for me, what's next for me is I'm running out of hours in the day already. You know, I'm already running out of hours in the day. I'm in my 20s, and I know I only want to grow from here. So I want to hire other trainers. I'm already in discussions with a few people in the industry right now that I'd like to bring on by my right hand that I can give clients to, because I don't have enough hours in the day. People that I can help coach, build business, and help them become better at the intangibles that I have, like the sales skills, like the passion, like the entrepreneurial mind state. Like, there's people that want where I'm at, that have been in the industry much longer than I have, that don't have it yet. And it's not because they don't know how to train a client or program a client, or they don't have the exercise knowledge. They don't have the business savvy. They don't have the people skills. They don't have the sales skills. So I'd like to bring on a couple extra pairs of hands to help me train clients. But more importantly, I'd really like to start franchising and bringing on trainers and helping them get to where I am, just under my umbrella.
So you want to sort of train trainers a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I want to train trainers. I want to train clients. I want to, own multiple locations. I want to bring on nutritionists. I want to have, I want, when people think about, this is John, he works at State Street, he makes 6 figures, but he's 100 pounds overweight. I want them to say, hey, I think I know a guy that'd be great for you. A guy that'd be great for you. And and you don't need to make 6 figures. I shouldn't even preface it that way. I'm just thinking about the neighborhood we're in right now, right? And where my studio is. But I have 22-year-old college graduates that, have been overweight their whole life, and they're in their 20s and they want to date,
and they need help,
want to feel good, and it's whatever's important to you. But I mean, I'm here, I'm ready to go, and I'm only going to keep growing and building my business. So
nice.
That's dope. Yeah, through uplifting and fucking doing what you love to do.
That's right. Yeah. How's your personal life before we wrap it up here? Is Jenna still in the picture? I know you mentioned your old girlfriend.
Jenna's okay. Jenna's an old one, man. Jenna's
many girlfriends ago.
Jenna's my
Well, I mean, do you have time to date? Working fucking 16 hours a day?
So
everyone has time to do something.
Yeah, I date. It's my luck with women has been shit. My luck with women.
Well, you're talking to the right two guys.
That's the thing. People always ask me. They're like, oh, like, you're so young, you're so successful. Like, I'm sure you have girls. You have all these followers on Instagram. I'm like, it's honestly like I feel like I was born in the wrong generation.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
In the wrong generation. The things I look for in women, they just don't exist. My dream girl's like, she's street smart, but went to Ivy League grad school. She's a freaky virgin. Like, it doesn't like.
Randy, she's talking about you. She's talking about Randy. Just dress up as a girl.
My dream girl. I think about my dream girl, and she just doesn't exist, bro. So until I find that, I'm just gonna keep focusing on my career, and my dog, and my business, and
that's fair.
There you go, man.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about me. I mean,
so you want to plug your studio one more time? And
Jesse Setaro Fitness, 717 Atlantic Avenue, right next to South Station. I have capacity for more clients. I have trainers coming on with me. I guarantee results. So that's the big thing too. That's if there's one thing I want to plug, is I guarantee results. You give me 90 days, I'll get you results, or I'll give you your fucking money back.
But they also have to be committed as well.
They have to be accountable.
Give me 90 days. Right. You can't work with me for 90 days and not get results. And here's the thing: if you're financially investing your time and your money and into this, and you're dicking off for 90 days, I don't want to work with you.
You don't want to.
Take your money back and go, because you give me 90 days, this isn't going to happen at an Equinox or a Boston Sports Club or a Planet Fitness or whatever the Dave Barton, even Barry's Boot Camp. None of these things that are really popular, Soul Cycle. None of these people are going to tell you what I'm saying. You work with me for 90 days, I'll guarantee you results, because I'm going to get you programmed correctly. I'm going to get you accountable, motivated, educated, all the things you need to be successful. I get Jesse Setaro Fitness. I guarantee you will get the results you want in 90 days, or I'll give you your fucking money back.
You can hey, there's one
There
thing
you
for
go.
certain. This guy fucking cares what he's
he's
talking
passionate
about, man.
He's passionate about his business.
Yeah, maybe I'll sign. Maybe I gotta take you on.
Yeah, I got you. Don't even worry about that. We'll come work out. Come meet Meatball. Come meet Meatball. He's at the studio right now.
Who's this? Oh, B-Ball?
Meatball, my rescue dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Meatball, the dog is something nice. You guys gotta
shit.
check him out on Instagram, folks. Jesse Setaro. He's got a very cute.
Randy.
Meatball's cute.
Meatball's cute little guy.
People like him more than me.
That's crazy because for a second he was like, "Come eat some meatballs with me." I was like, I definitely want to go. I was like,
let's have a meatball.
it's like So what's our Instagram? Pull up. What's your Instagram?
Jesse
Yeah,
Setaro.
Jesse Setaro Fitness, JESSESETARO. It's the first one that pops up.
He's quite popular, man.
Yeah, everyone gets one free session, and then if look me up. You got this.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, man. Really appreciate it, bud. Appreciate it. This is the healing yourself week. We got fitness expert tonight or this afternoon. Tomorrow we have a mental health expert coming on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we're mixing it up a little bit.
Checking that one out for sure. Who is it?
Anastasia Dulamas
From Boy About Boston?
She went to I think BU's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So we'll talk to her tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll watch that podcast. For
yeah.
sure.
We'll try to
Get you guys in.
get some.
Gotta give me Clinton Sparks' number because I'm trying to train him.
Get smart.
Clinton, if you hear this, there you go. You get a couple free training sessions from Jesse Setaro.
I need that connect.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode. What do I got coming up? I'm 10-1. I'm at McGreevy's, I think, and then 10-7. I'm at Greenbrier. I think are the next two Boston dates.
Awesome,
that
bro.
I have, and then I think I'll be back on the road, but I'm not sure when.
There you go. That's what fucking. That's
Ready
what.
for your stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously December 14th,
Please. Oh yeah, we have
2018 rather.
Yep.
It's Friday, 10 p.m. Comic Secure, Donnell Rawlings. is doing it again. 9:45. Sorry, 9:45. December 14th, Friday night. We're doing it again.
Yeah.
Third annual Comic Secure show. Come out. Tickets are up. They're already on sale.
Tickets
so
are up.
Get them
man.
early.
Tickets,
While they're moving.
It will sell out.
They will sell out.
guys
They will sell out. Did last year, so fucking show up.
So you guys know it's a portion of proceeds go to Perkins School for the Blind. We're gonna the lineup's gonna be insane. We'll release that information later on, but
Rest assured, we're working on it. We have some good names in the hopper for you guys.
yeah, man. So Randy has some shows. Go check him out. Follow him on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Chase Abel, at Randy Valerio, and we'll see you on another bonus episode this week.
That's right. That was Jesse Setaro. I'm Randy V, and that was Chase Abel. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Where's the broadcast, you bitch?